Welcome to Homework Lib.
Hi, so over here we're asked to predict the sign and calculate the value for the delta S for the reaction, considering that we're going to have the following stoichiometry. Over here we're going to have initially 2 mole of gas as the reagents and 4 moles of gas as the reagents. So based upon this stoichiometry, we're going to expect that the delta S for the reaction should be positive. We're increasing the number of degrees of freedom that we're going to have from as we go from 2 molecules of gas into 4 molecules of gas. Now, using the standard thermodynamic data in the chemistry reference, calculate the value for the delta S for the reaction. Over here, the delta S, the standard for the reaction, would correspond to 3 times the standard entropy for hydrogen gas plus the standard entropy for carbon monoxide as a gas minus the standard entropy for CH4 as a gas and minus the standard entropy for water as a gas. So in this case, you can replace the values directly provided by your professor, and with that, you can do the calculation. Over here, I'm going to employ over by Anne Chang's book of chemistry, the 13th edition of McGraw-Hill, and I'm using the appendix 2 of thermodynamic data at 1 atmosphere and 25 degrees Celsius. So the standard entropy for hydrogen gas is going to be equal to 131 joules per mole Kelvin plus the value for carbon monoxide, which is going to be equal to, carbon monoxide gas to 197.9 joules per mole Kelvin minus the value for methane, which is 186.2 joules per mole Kelvin, and minus the value for water as a gas, which is going to be equal to 188.7 joules per mole Kelvin. So the delta S for this reaction is going to be equal to 216 joules per mole Kelvin. And with that, it would be all. Again, verify that the values coincide perfectly with the ones provided on your chemistry references. This is going to be important since the values may differ by a decimal point, by rounding up to an integer number, or something like that. So always ensure that you're using the correct value that your professor employed in order to program the answers in the platform or the book that you're employing. So, with that, it would be all. Thanks and have a good one.